with.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Hi, we're back.
Hello. All right. Wow, that was an aggressive hello.
Do you think so?
I think so.
From you or me?
From me.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Oh my gosh.
I'm just used to it.
Right.
So, today we're going to talk about dating, the dreaded topic. I dread talking about dating.
You have. I have been wanting to talk about this,
I know. I've held you back for like 3 months.
but I am
Seems
quite
fair not to hold you back anymore.
different with that. I am super open about stuff where you're a little bit more
I'm definitely very private.
right. Right.
Yeah. Can be good and bad.
Absolutely. And same with mine. So I divorced at 50. And then the dating life afterwards was eye-opening.
Yes, and I couldn't tell you when I divorced. I don't know what age I was. And I don't think I dated right after. I think
Yeah.
it was a few years. I don't think I dated until my son was off to college.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it was a few years. Maybe
Yeah.
3 years. I don't know. So there's that period where I don't recommend starting dating because there's just so much baggage from divorce or even ending a relation or a divorce, marriage,
Right,
a
right.
serious relationship that you kind of like have to navigate and figure out where you are.
Yeah, I jumped
In hindsight, it's just a suggestion. I'm not saying my dating experiences were any better waiting that long because you
No.
jumped in, but it worked for you. So
Yeah.
our goals in dating were very different.
Yes. For me, my goal was really just exploration of myself, of the world out there, and have a good time. I wasn't looking for a replacement partner.
Right. You weren't looking for a long-term relationship. Yeah.
No.
And I thought I was. I think I was. I
Yeah.
was looking for a long-term relationship. And when you're on apps, oh my goodness,
Wow.
people aren't very transparent. And so I think we learned a lot about ourselves with dating. I
Right.
think that a few things I learned, because I want to make sure I'm not speaking for you, was when I described myself, was that really who I was?
Or who you wanted to be.
Right. Right. I was
Good
big
question.
on making sure my photos were me. I would do
Right.
the full body. It was like because of the whole catfishing thing, and a lot of people use
Right.
like an older photo that you look better. And my biggest thing, my biggest
Yes.
fear was meeting someone for the first time and them like, well, you didn't really look like that in the photo.
Right.
And what I got a lot of was, oh, you look better than your photos. I would
Nice.
prefer that than the that
Right.
photo was from, because I had a fair amount of guys that did not have current photos.
No. Well, and you can tell sometimes on the app
It's true.
where they're taking photos of a photo and it's easily like from the 70s.
Right.
Come on now.
And I I don't want to be I don't want to say that it's all about looks, but it is what it is. You're attracted to who you're attracted to.
Right.
I did date some guys that didn't have a photo and they just had a really great description. I had no issue with it.
Right.
But it was almost, for me, it was the time that they took to put the effort into it
Gotcha.
that was more behind that.
Right. And yeah, our dating worlds were really, really different.
Equally frustrating.
Absolutely. So yes, so we had and you're right. Call it as it is. Those apps are based on photos. So you're scrolling, and you're just like, that's interesting. I didn't look at bios first. Is that shallow? I don't know. It is what it is. I actually started dating back when Craigslist. So you normally didn't have a photo. You had just the description, what the person was looking for, and then I would share with you, hey, I'm going to be here. If I'm not back in this amount of time, Here's where you look for the body.
Right.
And it's something that women joke about. But
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
funny, not
serious
funny. We
thing.
would share our
Yeah.
locations quite frequently with each other.
Absolutely.
And have, check-ins and things, especially not all the time, but
Right.
when there were times when it might be quite, we'd always meet I would always meet, I don't speak for myself. I would always meet in a public area first. I would never meet them near my home at all.
Right.
Usually it was in another city. I have a very unique name. I'm really easy to find, and I lived alone. And so there was that fear. As women, unfortunately, we live in fear a really fair amount of our lives.
Right.
And that's not me being, paranoid. That's
It's just the
reality.
facts.
And if you're women, you know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
Because you can know all the karate moves and you can know all the self-defense. And I'm not a little person. Even when I'm at a thinner weight, I'm 5'8".
Right.
I'm like you say, an oak, not a willow.
Right.
But still, I've been in some situations when I was younger, and even recently, you need to be aware of your surroundings. So there's just a reality as a woman
Absolutely.
to be mindful of.
Yes. So when you start dating, definitely, again, you don't have to be paranoid, but you do have to be aware. So we'll do a safety check. Let people know where you are. If you have a picture, I would send a picture. This is what the guy says he looks like. This is yeah.
I didn't do that. I think I would just say I'm meeting them here or share my location.
Yeah. So have a dating buddy where you're sending that information.
Yeah, because unfortunately there is there is a fair amount of men, if you're dating men, that are not great. Right. They're not nice.
Right.
They have one thing in mind, and no matter what you say through communication, whether you're texting on an app or talking on the phone, they're not telling the truth.
Right. Right. Oh my Lord. Let's talk about unsolicited pics.
I think every woman has got an unsolicited pic.
My God, dudes. Stop. Ask first. We'll start talking about permission.
Unless we ask, we don't want it.
Right. I used to make a joke that I had so many pics that I was going to enlarge them and make a dicket fence. Because it was just like, hello, my name's John. Here's my member.
Yeah, for some reason, some men think that that's important.
Yeah, and I'll be quite honest. I'm one where it's just like, you've seen one. There's not a whole lot of difference. And a pic just doesn't do it for me, especially when it's given without me asking.
Yeah, that's a shocker text for sure.
Yeah.
That's a shocker.
Part of the world that I got into dealt a lot with permission. So exploring, like I said, was a big part for me. So I swear, I wish that BDSM.
Look it up.
Talked so much about boundaries and consent and making sure that you're not assuming consent just because of actions. It's an actual discussion.
It's a verbal.
Yeah.
And honestly, even not in that world, that's the way it should be. There should be an acknowledgement, a verbal acknowledgement of yes or no.
Right.
And that doesn't happen.
Right. Yes or no. Okay to change your mind. There's, oh my gosh, so much stuff. Safe words. There's the red, yellow. Where do I not want to be touched? And I think that's something. Now, granted, in my world, it was a little bit different because you knew that you were meeting for that kind of an encounter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you had those discussions ahead of time. And I'll be quite honest, I felt probably more safe with those folks than I did meeting somebody that we didn't have those kind of discussions. But we talked about, where is it okay to touch? Mm-hmm. Where is it not okay to touch?
Mm-hmm.
And I let folks know, I'm wanting to experiment. Okay, what about this? What about that? And it was a discussion of definitely not something that we can talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned more about myself in those years than I ever. Stuff that I still use to this day.
Which I think is great, and I wish that was in the whatever you want to call it world, the
The non BDSM world.
because I think it's very important.
I learned a lot.
Well, and,
lot.
yeah, and I will say that in general, our dating years, we learned a lot. We learned that we didn't want. There was a whole list of that because
Oh
you
my
know that
gosh.
kept coming up,
Yes.
and there were always surprises.
Yes.
Boy, we got stories. I will not be sharing those stories. Maybe someday on a channel you have to pay for that only certain people want to go
my
to.
gosh, yeah. We could do a class for men on how to write a bio.
Oh my goodness.
We could do
No
a class.
fish.
Right?
There's no fish.
We
Or
could,
bathroom. Bathroom picture and a fish. Oh my goodness.
we could do a class for women on how to interpret those bios. And then we could do another class on what is it that you want from dating.
Well, yeah. And realizing that even if you're upfront about it, you may not get that back. I don't
Right.
I don't want to trash people on dating, but this is what we've come across.
Right.
And a very large percentage are just not very upfront.
Right. So I met a gentleman who talk about photos. He gave older photos, and I could tell they were older photos. I was like, "Do you have a recent picture?" So sent
You
a
need to
recent.
know who you're meeting in person, people.
Yes.
I mean, how are you going to recognize them
Right.
in public?
Right. So send me a recent picture, and I was like, "Okay." I wanted to know that because his bio was great. Sounded really smart. Because Brainiacs, I love me a Brainiac.
Yeah, what is that called? It's called something.
Oh,
where
yeah,
you
yeah.
really like to have that connection and that intelligent
I want to say
conversation.
Sapio something or other.
Something, yeah.
Yeah, I like smart dudes. Because I like the conversations. Do I like the other aspect? Absolutely. But if you tickle my brain first, other parts of me are going to follow.
Otherwise, they're just bored to tears.
Yes, yes. So I always ask height because I'm not tiny. I'm 5'8", and when I was dating, I was about 150 pounds heavier. 5'8", I was about 340 pounds, and guys knew that. I would ask how tall you are because at one point I wanted everybody to be taller than me. He was like, "Oh, I'm 5'8" too." Okay. Met him.
They're usually not.
Oh my gosh. He was not
5'8" and really high tennis shoes, or
He was maybe 5'6" in the morning.
the height thing. So I feel really bad because I still have an issue with that. I'm not currently dating or attempting it, but it was genuinely a me issue.
Right.
I felt bad that I felt that way. And I agree. It was me being bigger. Even at my lowest, I still was a bigger person, not petite. And me standing next to somebody who's a lot smaller was my insecurity. And I felt
Right.
bad about that because you can't do anything about your height. And
Right.
so it kind of makes me feel like a shitty person. But it's been difficult to get over. I've tried.
Right. Right.
I've tried.
And
I've dated some guys that were my height, which is okay.
Right.
I
And we
got
all
to
have
that. I
ours.
got to that. It was the
Right.
shorter that was difficult.
Yeah. And we all
And
have
it's a
our
me issue.
preferences.
It's a me issue.
Yeah. And we all have I am seeing somebody now and he is shorter than me.
Yeah, but you've come to that place.
But
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
you're more secure.
Yeah. That and I like being able to just pick somebody up, check them over my shoulder, and have my way.
Okay. Alrighty. We're very different.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I learned that I am quite the dominant in a relationship, in that kind of a relationship. I tried to be more, I wanted to explore the submissive part. It just irritated the frig out of me.
You learned a lot. I learned a lot in dating, but I feel like you learned more. I feel like you
Yeah.
were more adventuresome, where I was, typical neuro whatever.
Neurotypical.
Neuro boring. Can I just call it neuro boring instead of neurotypical? Because that's the way I see it
Yeah.
as.
I was all over the place.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun.
It was a part-time job though. One
It-
thing I don't
it
miss is all the judgment and the swiping and having to
Right.
make a decision on, yes or no, and I'm like, ah, and it was stressful. And then all the incessant, hi, how are you? And what's a
Right.
great opening line? Oh my goodness, it's exhausting.
And I
Really is exhausting. I do not miss that.
Oh
at
my
all.
gosh. I don't miss it now, but I loved that. So I had multiple partners. My partners knew that because I was very open about what I wanted, very open about my life when I was talking with folks. I can fit you in on Tuesday at 6:00. I seriously had a calendar.
Yeah.
And I had what we call a reverse harem. I was like, if dudes can do it, why can't I? Talk about exhausting.
Neuro boring.
Oh my gosh, folks.
One at a time.
If you want to explore, I would check out FetLife. It is a safe place to be. Now it's not, you still have to do your due diligence, but you can learn a lot because there's a lot of educational stuff on there.
Yeah, they do a really good job of what you've told me about
Yeah.
of things that I wish would cross over into the norm
Right.
dating world.
Because there are folks in there that are specific to, they talk about contracts. They talk about the consent and what that means. Because
They've really got a lot of thought into
they
it.
dialed a lot in. So if that's something that you're interested in dabbling in, or even if you're not interested in dabbling, but you want to feel a little bit more empowered in setting stronger boundaries, that's a really good place to start. Because I learned how to set some boundaries. But I had me some fun. Would I do it again? In a heartbeat. In a mother freaking heartbeat.
I don't know if I want to go back on dating apps. I just find the thought of it exhausting.
Yeah. It kept me from doing a lot of things. It kept me, so it was also a way to my incessant scrolling and chatting, because I would have,
Oh yeah, you don't watch TV.
chats.
You're not playing games. I mean, you're just like swiping and notifications and
right.
and
So it was a way for me to escape.
what about this
other
app? I mean,
parts.
I don't even remember all the apps, and I'm thinking there were at least at some point I would go between them.
Right.
6, 8, I don't know.
Right, and you would see the same folks on the different apps.
I don't know if I ran into that.
Oh, really?
I think your world was a little bit smaller than mine.
I will say the world that I was in was much smaller than what I thought. Because you'd meet somebody and you'd be chatting, and they're like, "Oh, I know that person," and it's like, "Are you kidding me?" And then pretty soon it became "You want to invite that person?" Heck yeah,
Well, so there's advantages of that.
absolutely. Because then you get your little core group, of 6 to 12 folks.
One at a time. So boring. So incredibly boring.
Oh, not
I
boring.
mean
It's-
that really speaks to how different we are,
absolutely,
which is great. Honestly, it is.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because I would I would go, because I remember, who was it? I think it was your son. Play dates. It's like, God, I hate, that's what they were called. They were, and they're still called play dates, folks. Because that's what they were.
Yeah.
Because we weren't looking for serious. Now, there were some folks who you would become like play date partners. And so longer term, you know, but there are some folks out there that they've been partnered with this person for years. And they've just developed this really good relationship.
But they still see other people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you have your regulars, maybe. I
Right.
don't know.
Yeah, no, you do.
Your closer group.
You do. You have your closer group, and then you're like, hey, I'm going to go give this person a shout out. I'm going to go here. And getting together and comparing notes, so fun. So fun. It's like, okay, this person has really good this. This person is really good at this part.
I'm so envious. I'm so envious. That's not for me. I just know me enough.
Right.
That it's just not for me. But I'm envious of how you've grown and what you've learned, and it's really opened up your world, which is great. Absolutely fabulous. Like I said, not for me. But I definitely don't judge, because I've seen so much growth from you.
Yeah.
And it's your life.
Right. And we just have different goals.
We respect each other's choices in life.
Absolutely.
100%. Even if we don't agree. Sometimes we share.
Right.
Well, most of the times we share. I don't know. Did I share?
You didn't share tons.
Oh, okay. Well, I really wanted to make sure you didn't feel I was judging. And so I tried to tread lightly.
Yeah, no.
And it was so foreign to me.
Right. And there was judgment.
Really?
Yeah. There was judgment. But I never felt...
It was judgment based on me, though, not on you.
Yes. It was a fun... If judgment can be fun. Because we judge each other.
Yeah.
But it's done in a way that...
I think we're more open about how we feel.
Yes.
And if that's judgment, that's judgment, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, we're judging. I mean, honestly, judging is not, judgment itself is a way to keep yourself safe.
Absolutely.
So you're making a judgment, a call
100%.
To keep yourself safe.
Yes.
And so it's not, you can't take it away.
Right. No. It was how many dates do you have this weekend?
Well, yeah, it'd be more like, I can't keep track because because she'd tell me, I'm like, I don't remember his freaking name.
Right.
I mean, can you? What at a point where you would name them? You wouldn't have names.
I wouldn't have names.
I'm like, well, that's the foot guy.
Yes, they would have attributes.
That's
the foot guy. That's the.
I'm trying to remember some of those.
I've forgotten more than what I remember.
But I mean, that's the only way, because she'd want to talk about it, which was totally fine.
Right. Absolutely.
I couldn't keep up. I could not keep up, and so she'd have to have like, well, this.
Right. It's like, remember this dude that does this. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Is that the guy that?
And I was like, no, that was the other guy.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think that we met our goals. We had our goals.
We gave it
a
college try, man. We did. We went all in for a fairly short period of time. I mean, a few years.
Yeah,
I would say
all in for a good 3.
I think that sounds about
3
right.
years.
I feel like our time kind of was on different roads going the same.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So dating now. So we did all the apps. We could do a class on apps. Because I couldn't do. I didn't want to do the bar thing.
Right.
I don't go to church.
Right. Well, I'm an introvert, so I mean,
right.
Unless it's somebody at work, where are you going to meet them? Of course, you always want to meet someone naturally,
right?
But that's much harder when you're not in your 20s.
Absolutely.
And you've got, we've talked before about location,
right,
and proximity,
right,
and we just don't have that.
No,
and
so apps aren't a bad thing.
No.
You just kind of have to, again, safe, keep yourself safe. But what is it that you're looking for? And do you know what you're looking for?
Well,
Meaning, are you looking for long term, or are you just looking for experiences?
well, but recognizing that that other person may not be as honest as you are trying to
Right.
be,
Right.
and trying not to take things personal.
Right.
Because until someone's met you, and even after they've met you and you get rejected, they're not rejecting you because they don't know you.
Right.
So that was something that I kind of worked through
Right.
that helped in a way of,
Right.
because then when I get yelled at work by customers, they're not yelling at me. They are
Right,
yelling
it's
at
the
me, but they're not
situation.
yelling at me. They don't
Right.
know me. That's nothing against me personally.
Right.
So that has really helped.
Right.
That you got to let a lot of things roll off your back. I've talked to people that have dated and they're like, well, that wasn't okay for him to say. I'm like, you're picking your battles because
Right.
you're gonna be having a lot of I mean, there's a lot of let it go.
Right.
There's a lot of ghosting.
Absolutely.
We have a video on that.
Right.
And just like picking your battles. Why are you engaging a conversation with someone who's not important?
Right, exactly. And I think with me seeing multiple people, so there were a lot of times where it was just like, you're not what I'm looking for that I received. And at first it was just like, well, what do you mean? I'm
Ouch.
mother freaking delight.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, hold on. I don't like everybody. So
Right.
why do I expect to be liked by
Why do
everybody?
you want to be with somebody who says that they're not into you or
Right.
it's not going to work?
Right.
Move on.
Exactly.
Move on.
So it became much easier. And then it was, if they're not in, I was 100% okay with that. And then it's like, I want the best for everybody out there anyway. So if I'm not it, move on and find who is for you.
Yep. Yep.
And the same, if you're not for me, I'm going to let you know. And those conversations started happening sooner.
Mm-hmm.
And you do get a little bit of a shell, a little bit of a harder shell.
Yeah, I kind of talked about this barrier or this shield that you have. I mean, when I would say to someone, I really don't think it's going to work out, and some would just flip out. It's like, well, that was for the best,
Right.
But just letting it go.
Right. And how often have we told each other, trust your gut, go with your gut?
Yes.
There are people who I hadn't met yet. We were texting, and there was just something that didn't sit well with me.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time that I met somebody like that, regardless, because like, he hasn't really said anything that makes me leery, but for some reason I'm leery. And I should have gone with that from the get-go. Now I was able to get myself out of a not so good situation. And I did it really quickly, because the moment that I met, I was like, okay, I am not safe here.
Yeah.
I gotta go. And
Yeah.
I used whatever, I'll lie my ass off, because I know that it's not going to trigger somebody.
Right. Well, and I was specifically in one situation that I went to the bathroom and I honestly regret not leaving, not
Right.
just skipping out.
Right.
And knowing that that's what I should have done and I didn't.
Right.
And nothing bad happened.
Right.
It was just really uncomfortable and awkward to leave after that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I think you get
And that's
better at
okay
that.
too.
Absolutely.
That's okay too. You should never feel bad about skipping out in a situation or ghosting or leaving when you're not safe. Women are too polite.
Absolutely.
We are
'Cause
way too
we're in
polite.
it for me. This is about me. It's not about the person that I'm seeing. It is about me and my own sanity, what my needs are. And I had already been in a long
You're dating for you.
Exactly. And if this person doesn't do it for me, then they gotta go. And they can go. I can let folks down nicely.
Well, some you can't though.
But yeah.
Some it just doesn't work that
Right.
way.
But make it about you, and that's okay. And I think for women, you're right. For women, it's hard to make it about us, because we are the caregivers, and if you've had kids, it's
Yeah,
always
especially
more
if you've been
about
married and have
them.
kids, then you know what we're talking about. If you're over 50, you know what we're talking about. In general,
Absolutely.
we're just too polite were the want to get along, the peacemakers, the nurturers. It does
Right.
not serve you well in an online dating environment.
No,
It
and
just
the
doesn't.
whole, well, everybody's got to compromise.
Not in
There,
dating.
yeah, if I'm dating,
That's the time, man.
that's
That's the time
absolutely,
to weed it out.
absolutely. Because if you're compromising on day one, what do you think day 31 is going to be
Oh
like?
yeah, no, absolutely.
Then you've lost it. This might be a hot topic for me.
Well, we've both been in long-term relationships that we've lost ourselves.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
this brought that empowerment back.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are dating or if you want to start dating again, make it about you and be okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
I have never felt so empowered. That was probably the most powerful I've ever felt in my life.
Because you had control, and not in a bad way, but you had control that you hadn't had
Absolutely.
in the past.
Right.
And so you're like, oh, well, this is what this is like.
Right. I had a healthy control
Yourself.
of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the best feeling in the world to be able to say, nope, not for me.
And something else that popped up in my head, my non-ADHD head, was the dating because you don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
So we did a video on loneliness versus alone.
Right.
And it's definitely some inside work that can be done, because
Yes.
if you're dating because you don't want to be alone, which I've done,
Yeah.
been there, done that,
Right.
it's not the best motivation, and you can make choices that aren't the best for you. So you're wanting to do this
Right.
for the right reasons.
Right. Right. And if that's why you're dating, I mean, do what you need to do. I'm not your mom. But just be aware. Because there was a time for probably about 6 months to a year where I was seeing people at that point because I didn't want to be alone.
Right. You were feeling a
I-
void.
Yes. I never felt so lonely in my entire
Yeah,
life.
that's the thing. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. And we say this from experience.
Mm-hmm.
If you have to go through it to realize that,
I mean, it sticks with you a little bit better.
Yeah, we did.
Right?
We're just trying to.
Absolutely. It's an experience. So if you're going through your dating world and you just want experiences, then just look at it as an experience and then learn
It's our
from that.
mindset.
Yeah. Learn from that. What have you learned? And is it something that you want to repeat? Or not?
Yeah, and so we don't know everything, and so
Well,
this
speak
is
for
me.
yourself.
Yeah, this is me trying to wrap it up, because that's my job. That's my job, and we would love to hear from our very few people.
Right.
You agree or disagree? Do you resonate with anything that we've said? I mean,
Right.
we're always trying to learn and have more self-awareness. We know we're not perfect. We'll never be
Absolutely.
perfect. We've messed up a lot. We'll continue to mess up a lot. That's just life.
Absolutely.
But we want to hear. We want to hear.
What is it? Is there anything that we skipped with dating that y'all want to know about?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Because we could go on for
Oh my
hours.
gosh, I could tell stories.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Do you really want to hear stories? That's gonna have to be for like Patreon or
Right.
something censored.
You don't have to pay me for my experiences.
Yeah. Well, and it's not really the money, right? It could be
No.
$1. It's more. I don't know if I want it out for everyone.
everybody.
I just people that actually care enough in a small space is really
Right.
my concern.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know. Is there something that you want to know or something that's weighing heavy on you? What is the one thing that's holding you back from dating?
Or why did you stop?
Or why did you stop? Yeah. So, I might even bring in our whole title. Real Talk After 50.
I don't think we ever say that.
I don't think we do.
Okay.
That's
But
who
we're ending, right?
we are ending. Okay, so this is where I need to be quiet because I will continue on for another 20 minutes.
Because if I don't step out of my chair, it won't stop. So that seems to be our ending, is when I start to step
Wait,
out
don't move yet. We got to pause for 3 seconds. 2, 1. Okay.
So you can